Here we go, motherfuckers. Question 1. What is not a characteristic of proteins? Can act as a hormone. A drug that is used to prevent the conservation of antigen and anti-T2 when selecting affected ground. Increase blood pressure. Amines are the common nature of the industry. Amines, whatever this thing is. Which the following is true. The neutral tube and the difference between the MDM, 3 only. This process is completed. Seeds is 6 to 12 it's the area of the cell membrane. The biochemistry pathways often involve multiple successive chemical reactions. Keep developing some to turn into help. 3, obviously. Oh my. I have no words to describe the things I'm about to describe and say. It's been a wild couple days. It's been a wild week, especially for Destiny on the internet. There's a conspiracy theory floating around that the cohesive left, bread tube, if you will, plots a few nefarious schemes. Now, this has come from a couple of individuals. I've heard it from Mr. Caleb Mopin. I've heard it from Peter Coffin. They have expressed that there is some kind of a bread tube council of sorts. Of course, I'm sure, as many of you know, we don't reject slime. We embrace slime. It's what powers bread tube. It's the greasy wheels that get this whole cog machine working, so we can produce more exploited labor and so forth. I've never been allowed into the Privy Council, unfortunately, or the Politburo, or whatever you want to call it. I've never been familiar with these organizations. What I feel is happening on a regular basis is that Destiny likes to meme an edgelord a little close to the sun. Like, sometimes he edges so much without release that we get to the point where these events happen. And then, yes, other people, I mean, that's the way Twitter works. You make a post, you take another person, and another person finds it, and so forth and so forth. And the whole thing spirals out. Now, if a whole bunch of people are mad at you because you had a spicy take, that can feel like you've got some kind of a gang coming after you, or that can feel like there's some kind of conspiracy, if you will. There's a group of people who are trying to attack you. Such as the case, it happens in the other direction. I know Mike from PA, for example, has suggested that Destiny and other people are acting as a team trying to take him down. There's probably some truth to one end. There's probably some truth to the other end. I'm sure there's moments when certain groups have tried to take down Destiny. I'm sure there's certain times when other groups have tried to take down Mike from PA, or take down Hassan, or take down myself, or any of these kind of things. But for the most part, if I could just cut through all this, if I could add some nuance, bro, to the situation, I think what is happening and what has happened here is that some of these spicy takes, some of these edgy memes, pissed off enough people that everyone started responding. Even Big Joel, the friendliest sweatshirt on the internet, was not above the fray. So I did that thing last night where, I logged off. I finished a long day on the internet and I logged off. I went for a very long walk. I enjoyed the cold, rainy air of Vancouver, and I was somewhat at peace. I was about to go to bed. I was lying in bed, and as any fool would, I decided why not look at Twitter, see what's happening on the Twittosphere, and of course I couldn't go to sleep for the next 4 hours because it was an absolute dumpster fire. When I joined Twitter, it hadn't started trending yet, but by the time the whole fiasco was over, Destiny Takes the LSAT was suddenly climbing to one of the top spots on the platform. So, without further ado, what happened last night? Well, it turns out an account called Respectable Lawyer, who is in fact a lawyer, had made the top post on a Reddit thread called Murdered by Words, aka when your words are so deadly, so vicious they cut like a knife right through something. That was Respectable Lawyer. And lo and behold, Twitter posting is part of your business. Well, I should actually read out Destiny's first, all right? The difference is that I'm not out here pretending Twitter is praxis. He responds, Twitter posting is part of your business. It is not part of mine. I redistribute corporate wealth directly to working families using the courts. You rant while playing video games to build your brand. I'm on Twitter to blow off steam. You're part of the whole dog and pony show. He responds, AKA you try and recruit people into class action lawsuits against Viagra spin-offs. Okay, chief. Respectable Lawyer responds, I don't want to bore you with the family tragedies and corporate cruelty I'm enlisted to deal with on a daily basis, but suffice to say, I'm not recruiting for class action dick pills. I would try to conjure up an insulting stereotype for your profession, but you are one. So, one of those oh, kind of things. Now, I guess that could have been the start and end of it. That may have been the end of this entire saga. That just, we could have ended right there. And no, that was but the beginning. I forget what that line is in Batman, but it's like, It was the spark that starts the fire. Oh, the fire rises. Yes, that was it. The fire most certainly did rise. And rise it did. Oh my. So, the very next post. Oh, by the way, you're going to see a lot of these. This tweet is unavailable. I'm just going to, unfortunately spoil the ending of the story. Destiny's alt account has been removed off of Twitter. He is no longer an alt account on Twitter. Now, the reason for this being, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say it was because of a mass flagging. It was because of what Respectable Lawyer does. Respectable Lawyer, for the record, does not have an army of people who follow him around and do his bidding. There's no like RGG. There's no Respectable Lawyer community. There was probably a lot of people that got very pissed off once Destiny started going after, say, Jamie Peck, mocking her when Michael Brooks had died, which was really, really ugly look. Same thing with Matt Binder. That is probably stuff that would have energized a lot of people to be like, well, we were gonna flag his account. Even then, I don't think that's what did it. To be totally frank, Destiny was adding in the description of his YouTube videos, like twitter.com/gazewithin as his official Twitter account, linking that to his YouTube account. That alone is enough for Twitter to like ... connect the dots in this situation. But anyways, so most of these will be tweets for unavailable. But Destiny now defending Kyle Rittenhouse, continuing his trigger-happy panic spree because of the alarmed member of the crowd tried to disarm him with a skateboard, thereby squandering time which could be spent on YouTube encouraging right-wing death squads to murder rioters. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have the responses. You quote-tweeted me the same thread 4 times in the past 30 minutes. I'm not saying I don't respect it, but this guy loves the post. Woo, 666 likes. Don't like that one. Oh, he retweets Vosh. Vosh. It doesn't really matter because calling Destiny a Nazi is incredibly stupid either way, and that means that chapter is being informed by the same types of people who form opinions on me exclusively from other people's retelling of angry Twitter threads from 3 months ago. Respectable Lawyer. Look, I don't want to split hairs, but the guy was proposing that right-wing death squads murdering rioters might be a good thing for political ends. What do you want me to call that? Just give me a word and I'll use it. If it's liberal, okay, but that seems weird. They were Nazis, dude. Come on, Donnie. They were threatening castration. Uh-huh. Are you gonna split hairs? No? Am I wrong? I don't care what you think Destiny's politics are, his weird, ugly past is, or whether he's a Nazi, literally or colloquially, but it's odd to PC police the term Nazi when its plain language for comments gave blessing to Nazi murder. Of course, people will use that word. Turns out that ridiculing Destiny, the weirdo Twitch streamer, landed me on the front page of Reddit this morning. Oh, so that went all the way to the front page. Wow, that's pretty wild. Hey, Destiny, were you there in Kenosha? Have you ever been to Kenosha? Do you still have nightmares about Kenosha? Have you held your friends as they cried and suffered from PTSD? What are you willing to do when you almost killed again right before the shooting? I should have screenshotted these. I can't remember what he was saying. The Kenosha militia group was a nest of Nazis. Members were sharing Hitler speeches and shit. Okay, so this is what Destiny was basically like. I'm tired of people trying to compare Kyle Rittenhouse to a Nazi. And might I say for the record, because I don't think Respectable Lawyer brought this up, but I had been saying for a long time that if you want to connect the dots in this whole ordeal, here's some things. Starting from this. He was, and we all know this, LARPing as a police officer. Kyle Rittenhouse, he wanted to be a cop. He wanted to be a cop so bad that he was in the junior police program. He would dress up as a police officer. So he was definitely I want to be a police officer. He attended MAGA rallies. Now, those two things in and of themselves do not make you like a white supremacist, a white nationalist. Absolutely not. He was also into All Lives Matter, which of course is a right-wing response to Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter, of course, being about how black people are disproportionately killed by the police, as well as a whole bunch of other things, systemic injustices, racism, systemic racism, historical racism, all that kind of shit wrapped into one slogan. The All Lives Matter one is the white response of like this, no, it's about me now, okay? All diseases matter. It doesn't matter that you have cancer. It doesn't matter that house is on fire. We should spray water on all houses because all houses matter. That's what All Lives Matter was. Blue Lives Matter was an even further right response to All Lives Matter, because All Lives Matter, I guess, didn't go far enough for some people. They wanted to say, you know whose lives truly matter? The fucking cops, son. It's the cops whose lives matter. It's only Blue Lives Matter. They put themselves in the front lines against the criminals, against the gangsters, all right? Against the super predators. Only one person can stop us from the super predators, and that's the blue lives. So that's where he was posting that blue thin line, that blue, all that kind of stuff. If we want to take things even further, what was he doing in Kenosha that day? He was patrolling the streets with a member of the Boogaloo Boys. And of course, you can say that some of the Boogaloo Boys aren't really trying to incite a race war, that it's all a meme. Well, this particular Boogaloo Boy was. There's a lot of quotes that he has that are actually far on like Nazi shit. Like he was saying Nazi shit. Like he was straight up saying that he wants to initiate a race war for the superiority of the master race being white. So that's, I mean, again, any one of those things in isolation, sure, but once you start stacking them one upon each other, his lawyer, Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer, was a QAnoner. Sorry, is a QAnoner. No, not was a QAnoner, is a QAnoner. So that should ring some alarm bells somewhere. I don't know. It just seems like it's the Mr. Magoo of racism, right? Like it just keeps happening, but it's not correlated. Don't think about it. None of these are correlated. They're not connected. So the Kenosha militia group was a nest of Nazis. Members were sharing Hitler speeches and shit, sorry. I can't even pronounce shit anymore. Hate Watch discovered the militia leader who gave the initial statement on the behalf of Rittenhouse is a straight up triumph of the will Nazi. I swear the guy is a glutton for punishment. Destiny, so what? You found me in the woods torturing cats with a bunch of hardcore Satanists. You can't prove that I'm a Satanist. All you can prove is that I was wearing the Megadeth t-shirt and torturing cats with Satanists who then gave a statement from me. The only problem with this analogy, and I think the Church of Satan responded, is that Satanism is actually against animal torture. Oh, yes, there it is. I will now read this quote from the Church of Satan, if you'll excuse me. Satanism directly forbids harming animals, so if someone was discovered torturing cats, that would be a rather strong argument that they aren't a Satanist. Based Satanists. All right, everyone's always like the Church of Satan is actually pretty based. I'll agree. Let's go back to this. The analogy about circumstantial evidence is going to make the Satanists mad at me, who are actually quite nice, lovely people in reality. I thought that was cute. I like that one. But anyways, so I don't know at this point in the back and forth, because I know when things get heated on the Twitters, people don't always see clearly. You know, we start yelling past each other. It's all about ownage, who's owning each other faster and more furious. But I personally, because I was always in the camp where I'm like, no, I think labeling someone like Destiny a Nazi is counterintuitive because those words start to lose all meaning. Whether he's aiding and abetting people who hold Nazi beliefs is different. I don't know if you're just trying to do this cognitive disconnect where you're like, I want to prove the moral objectivity and the moral philosophy of the actions that he did, which is acting in self-defense, in my opinion. So because of that, it doesn't matter that there's all these racial connotations deeply embedded within it, even though that seems like something none of us should ignore. Like, that's what I kind of have been saying since day one when it comes to Kyle Rittenhouse and the Kenosha shooting, is that this isn't in a vacuum. It's like there's so many things you have to do to pull yourself out of this position, that to suddenly say that, well, he technically did cross state lines, but because it's only about a 20-minute drive, that's still really his community. So even though it's another state, it's still what he considers his community. Well, he didn't actually travel with the gun. He's saying that he got the gun on the other end and that a friend was just holding the gun for him, that he bought with COVID relief money. But anyways, that weapon wasn't crossing over state lines. It was just waiting for him there. So he picked it up on the other state. The gun that he still wasn't allowed to own at all, ever. He's not allowed to ever own that weapon. Doesn't matter what state he's in, but sure. So he now has the gun, and now he's patrolling the streets, but he's saying he's doing it on the behalf of a gas station and a car company owner who didn't directly speak to him. Well, he did, but it was through a Facebook forum again, which was with a Kenosha militia gang, which is kind of seedy and has a lot of ties to white nationalism and ethno-national. It's none of that matters. None of that matters. All that matters is whether or not he acted in self-defense. That's the only thing that we can really talk about here. So anyways, I think this continued for some time. Respectable lawyer and Destiny going back and forth. Oh, and then the squirrel chimed in. You know, if the squirrel chimed in, things were about to get ugly. The squirrel, if any of you do not know the squirrel I think is probably Destiny's arch nemesis. Like, I know a lot of people are like, it's Hassan. His name is Hassan. But let's be real. I think it's the squirrel, right? The squirrel and Destiny have been going after each other for years now. Absolute years. I don't know what to feel about the squirrel. The squirrel has a lot of great deep dive videos on a lot of leftist figures, all right? If you ever want to learn about X, like, you know, Yanis Yunifanasis, or I forget how to pronounce his last name, she'll have like 50 videos on him. I do think that she became a little obsessed with Destiny. There's no question about that. I don't think if you are an activist, you should be hyper focusing on a Twitch streamer. Like, that's unless like you have some kind of beef. And then this is where things turned really ugly. This is where things kind of turned, like, I don't know why this had to happen, but he started invoking Michael Brooks. He started quote tweeting Jamie Peck, especially a video where Jamie Peck is clearly distraught because Michael Brooks had just died. Hey dude, when is it okay to talk to someone close to you when they pass on because you made a YouTube video mocking me for mourning the day Michael died, but I guess it's okay to do it when it's your content, okay. I have long abandoned my attempts to convince you that a duck doing duck stuff at a duck party is a duck, and I moved on to ridiculing your entire existence for fun. It's not my fault that you're stuck in a meltdown loop. Dare I say, try logging off. Not feeling slightly bad about this, subjecting massive public embarrassment to the guy who's out here ridiculing Michael Brooks's deaths, co-hosts for mourning their passing. Yeah, that was the one where I was just like, I was astounded by that one. Like, I don't know if it's that. Yeah, none of them are up anymore. But yeah, like that was the only one I responded to, where I was like, dude, like, she's sad that one of her closest friends just died. Even Hutch popped in there. I feel like I defend you a lot these days on my stream against super angry crowds that don't make it easy with shitty jabs like this. Sounds like she's sad that her friend and colleague passed away. Like that was the first one. I was like, oh Jesus, dude, we're going far too deep now. So in an act of defiance and ultimate revenge, Destiny decided that he was going to prove that lawyers aren't all cut up to be what they say they are, that passing the LSAT is actually quite simple, quite easy, and that he himself was going to pass the LSAT live on stream in order to own a respectable lawyer, which was the plan. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever had a friend who's taken the LSAT, or I don't know if any of you have tried to do the LSAT on your own. I don't know if any of you have studied for the LSAT. I have many friends who have tried to take the LSAT. I have a very small minority of friends who have passed the LSAT. One of them is the animal rights lawyer you've seen appear on the show a couple times. He's a good friend of mine. Hello. Everyone else has had a lot of trouble with it because it's really fucking hard. Yeah, it's like, if you didn't know, it's really fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. I could not do it to save my life, unfortunately. If you put me, like, if anyone here ever wants to jigsaw me and put me in one of those scenarios where it's like a torture room that I can't escape from, all you got to do is drop the LSAT in front of me and be like, hey, Lance, you have infinite time to finish this. Like, what? Yeah, and then you can go. You can go. Actually, not only can you go, but we'll unlock the other room that has the jewels, all the jewels in it. So you can leave with all the jewels. All you got to do is finish this. That's it. I'm okay. And I would die. I would die in that room. I would die in that. I would just die. That's it. That's the end of this. It's no funny movie. No spiffy. There's no good end to this bit. I would just die. It would be a skeleton of me hunched over with my pencil in hand, and like the first question, still chicken scratch all over the place. That being said, the actual LSAT, when you take it, is even more grueling. There's so many questions, they're so rapid fire that when you take it, most people don't even finish the LSAT in completion. In fact, most people are like, I only had about 3 minutes per question because you have to just fucking do everything like it. It is maddening. It is maddening, and it's one of those things that, like, yeah, it's not something you can just pick up and do. Let's just say that. I'm sure there's some lawyers in the chat right now who are like, it wasn't that hard. And to those I say, give me your brains. Give me your brain juice. How do you do this? What is going through you? I did have friends. You know, I keep talking about this animal lawyer. My friend who's an animal lawyer actually didn't struggle with it at all. He's one of those people. His mind is just wired that way. Different people's minds are wired that way. I don't get it. You know. Is there a history of lawyers LSAT scores like Obama? I don't know. If they're made public. So this guy's so mad at you, he's going to take the LSAT about it. Let's see. He got frustrated with the very first question.
You said why not 0? You're safe for now. 1 sec.
His fucking chat. Oh no. His chat. Combo.
If both the first and second were 0, but no digits repeat. Wait, I just realized why we never ever do anything like this on stream. Holy shit. Christ, where were we? Holy shit. If you're not timing this, there's 0 point. Okay, I was just curious what the questions were. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. All right, back to Minecraft. Good call.
I think there was a longer thread because there was more than one attempt. I want to find the longer thread. Oh yeah, before he got toasted, he did change his name to the Void Lawyer 184 on the LSAT. The top score you can get on the LSAT, by the way, is 180. So I'm guessing that's a joke. Oh, but there was a longer thread. Squirrel, this must be like your favorite day. Squirrel is Just going all off with every old clip of Destiny that she has in her vocabulary. Oh, it was Jack. Yeah, Jack has a real hate on for Destiny too. Whatever happened between Jack and Destiny? Where does that come from? Oh, wow, look at this.
And there can't possibly be more than 2 digits away. It has to be this. Okay. What do we have for time? Oh my god. Oh god, could be the first one shown on Thursday. Oh, I read this question wrong. Of films, it could be the first film shown on Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, if Limelight and Harvest have to be shown on Thursday, I thought it was all the films shown on Thursday.
I don't think his YouTube editor is going to upload this one. And again, let me reiterate the fact that I couldn't do shit, all right? When it comes to this kind of stuff, I would never take the LSAT. I wouldn't take the LSAT in general, all right? My mind is just not wired that way. I have no use. I was like, you know what might be funny? I was going to make an announcement on Twitter. I was going to be like, oh, yo, yeah, you think Destiny can't do the LSAT? Wait till you see Lance do the MCAT. I was going to try and take the MCAT live on stream. Wouldn't that be something? Maybe we'll see if Lance can even get past, like, opening it. I won't even be able to find the website that has the MCAT on it.
8 is D, E, D. 11 is wrong. This one was A. Not good. 12 is A. 13 is E. Oh my god. E. 15 is A. 16 is A. 17 is D. 18 is B. Okay. 19. Oh, and then we didn't really finish past this point. 3 out of 18 missed. Okay, well, we'll practice next time.
Jack, were you just following this all night?
She's gonna get a Hebrew National hot dog.
What does that mean? Rent free on Twitter.
Oh, shit.
He got sad about doing so bad, he immediately went back to Sector 2 and now he's shit talking about how easy to... Why is this... What? This guy is obsessed.
Hold on, I can solve this problem for you.
Oh my god, yeah.
Dude watching right now. You're ugly. Fuck off. Go do your own fucking thing. Focus on losing a few pounds, shaving your fucking face, which looks like shit, and get your shit together. All right? You got better things to do than watch this motherfucker.
Jack, how are you going to survive? Oh no, he just got landlorded. You got evicted. He evicted you. He evicted your face live on stream. You got evicted, bro.
I'm trying to imagine this guy, they're like one of the fucking partners of the law firm or whatever is like screaming down the hall like, John, do you have the fucking paperwork yet or whatever? And he's like in this little fucking dark office, like in like a janitor's closet, like pounding away like on his cell phone. He's like, yeah, I'm coming, hold on. He's like, I'm totally owning this guy on Twitter right now. I'm working for, I swear to God, I'm a fucking liar. High-powered law firm, we're attacking corporations. John, bring me the documents.
I mean, that would genuinely be funny if like respectable lawyer wasn't actually a respectable lawyer. Like apparently he works on some heavy shit.
You can have my Law Hub account. It has over 80 and it's useless to me now. Dude, I need to finish my fucking Minecraft world, guys. That's the main...
See, that's the thing. So again, to my friends who have done the LSAT or at least tried to, it's like, it's your life. It's day and night. You wake up in the morning, you LSAT. You go to sleep, you LSAT. You wake up again, you go to the library, you LSAT. You study, and you get really, really good at being able to crunch through these logic questions of the LSAT, by the way, is the hardest part. And you have to be good at doing those fast. Really fast, because again, in the real LSAT, you only have like 2 to 3 minutes per question. That's why like you should be timing yourself. That's why Zone Chat is saying that. Because yeah, if you spent like an hour on one question, probably you would be able to deduce it. Not me, of course. No, I don't have the 5 brain. I have the 4 1/4 brain. But if you had the 5 brain, yeah, you would be able to deduce eventually. But the whole point is that you have to be able to do it quick, rapid fire. So anyways, that's basically the whole rub. It was a wild night. I had to turn off the internet eventually. I woke up this morning to find out that Destiny had in fact been toasted again. I don't think it was the squirrel that got D. I don't think it was the squirrel. I don't think it was respectable lawyer. I don't think it was Jack AM either. I think it's... Here's the thing. If you keep bringing attention to yourself, if you keep like pissing off everyone on the internet simultaneously, people like Big Joel has zero beef with Destiny. I talked to Big Joel. He has never mentioned Destiny to me once. He's never been like, what's up with that guy on Twitch? What does he ever butt heads with you? Is he mean to you or anything like that? I was like, I've never once talked to Joel about that. Joel was tweeting about Destiny last night because Joel was like, why is he making fun of Jamie Peck and her crying over Michael Brooks, and Matt Binder and him crying over Michael Brooks, and why is, you know, Joel is typically very wholesome. Joel is typically a very wholesome person, and now he's posting Destiny memes, right? Like, it's I think it was just a matter of time. Relevant tweets. Destiny has once again been banned from Twitter. In memoriam, here are some of his most heated Twitter moments. Are these gonna TOS me? If you're a liberal, it's time to stop being a pussy and learn how to shoot a gun. Gun fights with untrained liberals. Come on, I can only get so hard. You're a vet, so you'll probably kill yourself with a gun before you get anywhere near combat. Holy shit. I don't know if I can read any more of these out loud. What is this? 2017. Wow. Anyways, hey, before I go down the rabbit train of the most horrible things that someone has said back in the past, I am going to say this, and the same thing applies to virtually anyone who has not like committed acts of egregious crimes, like, you know, like you burnt down someone's entire family home, or you assaulted somebody or something like that. But in terms of just language, speech, in terms of the things you've said in the past, I am not above, you know, forgiving anyone for anything. I think anyone can make amends, especially for incredibly shitty takes. That's been the whole arc of a lot of people right now, from everyone from like Lucid Fox to like Shoe on Head. Izzy Bear 713 grew up in a family of white nationalists. Like, I'm not saying if you said super shitty stuff in the past, that means in the future there's no place for you in any form of activism or leftism. That's not true at all. Anyone who says that, that's ridiculous. Make sure the gates are wide open for people who want to learn and forgive themselves. The difference being that is, if you just want to remain as like an edgelord for the rest of your life, then that's not really like, you know, evolving or anything. But like, he doesn't make tweets like this anymore. Like, these are, oh god, yeah, Jesus Christ, I can't like, don't send me these things right now. Send me these off stream. You're gonna toast my VOD. But yes, that is the entire segment. That is the history. That is the drama. I don't like Destiny, but we should be getting people like Destiny help instead of yelling and screaming at them and pushing them into a corner, because that's how they become radical extremists. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any person who can reach out right now, though. Like, maybe Booksmarts. Like, maybe tell that to Booksmarts. Booksmarts seems to have this kind of like very calm demeanor, and Destiny responds very well to it. So maybe that's Booksmarts' job. Maybe Booksmarts can be the one to be like, hey, by the way, this is the Principal Skinner thing. Okay. And I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying that there's not a whole bunch of people who have a hard-on for getting Destiny destroyed. There is. Oh my, there is. Okay. As someone who is not one of those people, I have heard and seen people who are like, yeah, fuck Destiny, I want Destiny destroyed, we have to destroy his empire, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and y'all probably know who those people are. Yes, there should be someone that reaches out to him and say, by the way, this is not a conspiracy. This is not like, it's the Principal Skinner meme, honestly. It's this idea that it's like, well, I'm not wrong, it's everyone else who's wrong, whereas everyone else is getting pissed off, and it looks like they're all like conspiring against you, because all of them are like, why are you saying these things? Like, no one wants to hear Michael Brooks invoked in that way, or Jamie Peck mocked in that way for crying over Michael Brooks. Like, then people who have nothing to do with Destiny or no idea who he is are going to jump and dogpile him on Twitter. And then it's going to seem, again, like all of a sudden there's a conspiracy going on. Like, all these people are banding together or have secret meetings or all work together to want to destroy him. That's just the way it feels when that's the way it's working out, you know? But wowee, that was a wild night. That was a wild night.
A few moments later.
The MCAT is it's like the exam. It's like, you know, it's the tower. It's Shao Kahn. It's Shang Tsung. It's the final boss. There's nothing harder than the MCAT. As I destroy a 20-minute MCAT exam in 1 minute. Here we go, motherfuckers. Question 1. What is not a characteristic of proteins? Can act as a hormone. A drug that is used to prevent the conservation of antigen to antigen when selecting affecting the ground. Increase blood pressure. Amines are the common nature of the industry. Amines, whatever this thing is. Which the following is true. The neutral tube and the difference between the MDM, 3 only. This process is completed. C to 6 to 12, it's the area of the cell membrane. The biochemistry pathways often involve multiple successive chemical reactions. Keep developing some to turn into help. 3, obviously, which is the response to the immune system downregulation. The FCA molecules of the somatic cells, T cells. Person suffers from food poisoning after eating spoiled lemon. Acquisition. How many different kinds of gamma gates would be gone for this genotype? 16. A woman comes to the doctor. 2-week history, complete a conversion disorder, illness, anxiety disorder. Structuromes, isomers could be different roles in the body. Furthermore, one of them multiple 2. 6-foot man less than 1.5 pound weight, it's a 600 foot-pound. What statement is cycled? The AMP, the MP, the enzyme catalyzes the ACM, obviously. A patient who resides in the United States that says, I love you, and hugs his doctor, and routine, justify personal beliefs, patient autonomy, social values, social norms, patient autonomy. The potential danger involved in deciding the question, the seeds and cereals, the third, fourth one. What best described population by Medicare and Medicaid, respectively, Medicare, most patient, third thing. 25%! 25%! That's right, motherfuckers! That's right. 25% in 1 fucking minute. Genius brain. Genius brain. That's right. Yes. Speedrun. You were here. You were here for it. I don't need to see the answers. Hey, we want to mutual aid you to get some eyeballs on your work. So if you have a leftist YouTube channel or Twitch stream or something you want us to advertise, just send us a 20 to 30 second ad using the forums at weareserfs.com. We'll do our best to help you out. And please submit once per channel.
You are gods, unwrapped, Xander Quarters. We shall build temples in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we live to do your bidding. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, Aunt Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., we bow meekly for your pleasure. And to our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Vike, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Ali Menthal, Jimmy Big Nuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Joppy, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barrington, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ramon Acosta, and Ali Retta Jaffer. We salute you. Love you all. Peace.